Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers of all ages. Good day to you. Welcome back to the channel. We are returning to this 2008. It's a Ford F-150. It's the King Ranch. I made a video about this thing like about a week or so ago. We had found there was a torn up and broken wiring harness in the driver door jamb inside of here, and it was disabling a bunch of the power features inside of the vehicle. Now that's since has been remedied. I will leave a link to that video down in this video's description if you want to go back and see it. But we're here for a different purpose. A more involved issue has occurred with this particular truck. The customer states that there is a rattly noise on startup and they would like the timing system investigated down below. So what we're going to do, I understand it's going to be the passenger side is where the noise is coming from. I'm going to put you guys over here and head inside and start the engine. You guys listen for the rattle on startup noise, and then we're going to go from there with diagnosing and possibly repairing said issues. So here, I'll put you guys right here where you can see. I'm going to reach inside, start this engine, see what she does. Or not. Fail, cut, camera smashed. You guys okay? You're stuck. You're stuck under the hood. Oh no. I'm trying to save you. Happening Z hood. Yeah. Here's our brake rotor. There was our brake rotor. Trying again. Yeah, I heard the rattle. Did you guys hear it? I think I heard it right over here. Rattle noise, top side of the engine. We believe it's a phaser or lifters or something of that nature. Here, let's shut it down and see if it rattles again on another startup. Powering down. Key on. Okay, no rattle that time. So it's just a first start rattle. All right. Yeah, so we had a rattle, first start only. I understand it also does it on occasion when the engine is hot. So I'm not gonna heat it up. Let's go ahead and pull some valve covers off of this and take a look at the timing system. All right, so here's the plan of all plans. We're gonna go ahead and get this into the shop today, right now. And we're gonna back it into the corner over there to the big lift, because if I end up doing work on this, it's gonna be here for a while. Now, what I mean is this is the modular 5.4, similar to the modular 4.6, and these things had cam, they had phaser, they had timing chain, and more importantly, they had timing chain tensioner problems, along with an engine oil system that was inherently flawed. As soon as one of the other components gives up the ghost, it cascades into a negative effect of destruction, takes out the entire system. Kind of like that V10 did over there on that F-250 that's parked in the corner. But this one is not as profound or as worn out or as loud or as spun bearing blown up as that the V10 is over there. So anyway, I suspect that our issue is going to be in the timing system on this, and at 197,199 miles on the odometer, I'm surprised it has never had any timing chain or phaser work done to it. So we might be breaking into this engine for the first time ever. Back it in, back it in. I'm not sure how far back I gotta go, but something against the wall will let me know when I get there. It's a joke, I'm not running into stuff. Almost there, and not contact. All right, good to go, I think. Let's go ahead and power this unit down. Pew, shut down. Very good. And re-popping the hood. That's a silent pop. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's get in there and pull the valve cover and see what this thing's looking like. Let's see here. Hello, Ferd. Back again. All right, I'm gonna need to install a hood prop here because one of these struts is loosey-goosey and the thing likes to fall down. No worries. All right, Rod. Stick you in there and up here. Securement achieved. There we go. So here, check this out real quick. I got a little pointer finger. Somebody sent me like a whole pack of these things. They're Amazon devices, but watch. What you do is you take it and then you go find your wife and then you use it to poke her. Oop. Hello. Good morning. Anyway, what did you need? I'll be right back, guys. See you later. I couldn't help it with the pointer finger. She came out. She had a question about some receipts, so I had to answer. Anyway, what we're gonna do is I would like to get some access to the Valve train, and we're gonna do a visual inspection on the lifters, rockers, and I want to see if I can't make that phaser move manually. Now I know I heard it, and I know we heard it, and I have heard it on other occasions, and so has the owner of said vehicle. So we know we're on the right track regarding where the source of the noise is coming from. So now we just have to go in there and see if we can't see it. I mean, realistically, if we do need to do the timing work on this vehicle, we are planning on doing that, but I want to find out first if that's what's necessary or if we can just get away with something like some lifters. I think at 197,000, it might be time to go ahead and do the whole shebang, but we're gonna cross that bridge when we have a little bit more information. Ooh, look, there's a nest of creature presences inside of the air intake. That's not okay. Yeah, squirrels, they'll get you. Trash can for me. Yeah, we certainly can't have squirrely squirrels inside of our engine. That will break our engine. So anyway, airbox ducting, that's removed. Let's go and just toss this over here to the side. Put you there. Well, I suppose that I should pull this battery out since I'm gonna have to disconnect the ECM and remove said ECM. That's not the right one. Epic fail. What is that, a 13 or something? 12 millimeter. It's been replaced with a replacement. There, now we're fully powered down. Wiggle, yeah, there we go. And there is like a wedge bracket down below us. 8 millimeter little bolt right there, and then the wedge, and that's what wedges the battery in position. So let's go ahead and just pull this thing right on out, make some space, set her down. This is good. It's one step complete. Let's now, what do I want to do here? ECM has to come out. That's going to come off. Let's just start peeling away the layers of the 5.4 liter onion and see what's in store here. Take off that connector, PCV connector over here. 2 more 10 millimeter bolts. 110 right there. The other should be here on the other side. Yes. Another one right there. There's 4 bolts, not 2. There we go. That's our air filter housing assembly. It says 5.4 Ford on it. So what I'll do here is place the fasteners back inside of their holes in the component and then set that down on the bench. It'll probably end up on the floor later, but it's fine for the bench for right now. So what I need to do is we're going to go through and start disconnecting things. Alternator, this connector, heater core hose, maybe not, PCV stuff, maybe not, and of course the ECM. All that has to be dug out of here so we can get to said valve covers. We'll start with some connectors, get them disconnected. Pocket screwdriver for the win, as always. There's a PCV hose on this other side that goes to a valve cover. I have a feeling it's all going to be removed later. Vacuum line right there. This one runs over to the evap purge solenoid over here in the firewall. Somewhat inconsequential for now, but that's where it goes. This one, I don't know if I need to disconnect that line / wire just yet. Let's just go ahead and pull the ECM out. I know it has to come out, and I know it's in the way. Three connectors, there we go, and then 3 more 10mm bolts. So our module comes out, bolts go back in the holes, and then we have to take the bracket off as well. Loud. Yay. So I believe this AC receiver dryer right here, that's that big old canister, I think that has to be removed as well, because this line has to come off in order to clear this valve cover. So we're going to go ahead and discharge the AC system so I can open it up. AC machine is over. Let's power that thing up. High side connector. Same thing here, low side connector. So what I'll do, we're going to start recovering, and then while this thing is recovering, we'll go over here and disconnect some other stuff. That should be a good use of time. Wait for you to power up. I'm going to go ahead and start draining some coolant out of it because I need to remove the radiator hoses as well. All right, down below we got a green drain pan for the not green coolant, and in this way down below we happen to have the petcock fitting, or the valve rather, to drain out said engine coolant. So we'll go down in here, you see it right way down there? It's a 3/4 inch kind of a nut. It's like a plastic bolt in there is what it really is. Go ahead and take that guy loosey-goosey. We should start to drain out some of this anti-freeze coolant. Yeah, there it is. On my flangy. And we're draining. Beautiful. So over here, I'm gonna go ahead and vent. Open up the surge bottle, let that just flow in some air. That way the coolant can drain out like it's supposed to. We'll leave that alone for a while. When that's done, I can pull some hoses off. This one, that one. And in the meantime, let's begin recovery with the AC system. Recover. Okay, that's gonna suck down the system and remove all the refrigerant. Now, we may go back to disassembling things manually. A long dirt road. Yeah, I could use a shop with a long dirt road. Need more space. Y'all are jumping in the middle of a conversation with Dave and I. I'm gonna pull the alternator connector off, trying to find a socket. 10mm needed. Now the fun part is always that little plug down there, the control plug. The power wire is not so bad. It's that sneaky little plug, because you can't really get onto it to depress the button. This thing's already hot from running. Push that in with a pocket screwdriver. Yeah, see, it just doesn't like to comply with ease. Okay, so next I think I'm gonna pull this upper radiator hose off. Why not? Yeah, it seems like a good idea right now. Let's pull the clamp back. Ooh, that's on there. There we go. Give that some wiggle action. Okay, And then same thing right over here at the radiator itself. Unclamp, clamp, wiggle, release. And there's our hose. Okay, next hose is this heater core unit right here. Pull that guy back. Give it some twists with the pliers. Not breaking it. You have to break that surface bond. I love how I said I'm not breaking it, and then I said I'm breaking it. That's the thing about English. The word break. Many words hold different meanings. Okay, that guy's off of there. We're starting to get some clarity here on what all is going on. I think we need to next pull out these Excel ignition coils. These are the yellow ones. Those are high performance. Same ones that V10 250 had, but that one's dead and this one is not. So let's pull those guys out while the machine's finishing up. Once these are out, we'll go back and I will disconnect the AC system. So we're pulling off injector and coil wires here. Get that one way out back too. This right here is a major bear. This silly heater core hose here. You see how this one's straight? This other one's curved and loop-de-looped, and it goes back behind the intake manifold. So we have to kind of fight with that one, you know, this whole time, but it'll be all right. Anyway, all connectors are disconnected. Let's pull this harness back some. And the machine's done too. Good. So we'll disconnect the machine, get some more stuff out of the way. Unwiggle, there we go. These can go off to the side. That's out of the way. More connectors. There's a low side cycling switch right down there on the receiver dryer. So now 12 millimeter I can get at that bolt right there. Nut. It's a nut, not a bolt. Okay, 13. Oh, by the way, you guys may be noticing I have a bandage on my middle finger right here. I didn't injure it per se, but my cuticle keeps, that's the part by the nail, I keep rubbing it on things and it's got a sore on it, kind of like a hangnail, like a super hangnail. I keep rubbing it because this is my slave hand, so to speak. Dominant hand is the one you write with. Your slave hand is your assistant hand. Well, I always shove this hand into things trying to reach bolts and stuff, and it causes me to rub a lot on the top of the finger. So I have some armor installed so I don't rub it anymore. It's my medical advice for the day. I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. Harness is connected with a little mount bracket business right there on that stud. There we go. Okay, that's loose off the stud. There's another stud right there. That's on that. Good. More electrical connectors up front. That one. Camshaft position sensor right here. And they keep going the farther down we go. We'll have to pull the fender liner out as well, I think, to get access to some stuff down below. So it has just occurred to me that it may be easier to get this accumulator / receiver dryer out with the battery tray removed. So we're gonna go ahead and do that next. It's got a 13 mil socket. Looks like 4 bolts in the tray. Let's pull this guy out too. We're stripping it all down. Unclickage. There we go. Okay, now for the hard part. There's some lines back here under the firewall. You guys can't see because my hand's in the way. There's some lines way back here for the AC, and we need to get those disconnected. There's a series of safety measures so you can't access this. One of which is that little clamp connector, and then it exposes our actual connector, which is really fun to get a hold of. I'll tell you what. Ooh, here. Now that there's some stuff out of the way, I might be able to get this heater core hose disconnected from its metal line. I said might, not a guarantee, because tight squeeze spaces and close quarters combat, things of that nature. Come on. Ford connectors doing Ford connector things. Here we go. Okay, there's one of them. That's heater core hose right there. Woo! Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I need to be able to wiggle this hose around in order to get that fitting right there off. So let's disconnect this whole assembly from its mounting brackets. There's should be just 2 fasteners here. One vertical one right in front of us. See that guy? It's the wrong size. It's an 11. Okay. The only 11 millimeter. Hope it's 11. What is that? No, that's a 12. I can't read. Trying again. There we go. 11 millimeters. There we go. Okay, that thing should be not as loose as I want. There. Okay, now it's loose, so we can at least move that hose around some. I need to go in there with a disconnect tool and get that hose disconnected off of the firewall. There we go, it works. All right, let's see about this. So I've got a fuel line disconnect tool, also works with AC and things of that nature. What we need to do is slip this around the back side of that fitting. And then wiggle it towards me. And it should release the spring. There's a spring inside of that little round business in there. We release the spring. And that should release this hose. Oh man. That's not very agreeable. Not at all. I don't know if I'm gonna get this out of here. I really don't know. Here she comes. Come on, you. It's released and disconnected. Okay. There she is. Look at that. We got it. What a pain in the badoosie. Oh yeah. It's out. Beautiful. Warning, do not adjust your volume. Your TV set, your phone, your tablet, your computer, everything else is fine. I just messed up audio for this one scene. So we're still on the passenger side, pulling out the ignition coils as we speak. Just found out these are not Excel coils. They seem to have a different brand name on them. Anyway, they all 4 came out without a fuss. Moving on. Oh no, I had inadvertently turned off my microphone again. Oh no. So you guys had 60 seconds of no actual audio, but I'm not going to reshoot it. Oh no. Anyway, so I have all the Excel coils off, and what I was saying is these are not Excels, these are Brave X's. Brave X Performance, never heard of those. Lethal voltage, see that? Lethal. These are lethal voltage coils. Anyway, those guys are all off, disconnected. So we're almost there. I need to go down, raise this thing up, get the dipstick tube disconnected from the back of the engine. and then pull it out of the transom so I can move that, and then we can get some access to the bolts at the bottom to pull this valve cover out of here. Okie dokes, moving along a little bit. We've got her up in the air. The right front wheel well liner has been removed, and we're revisiting our transmission dipstick tube right here. That bolts to the head with this big old honking bolt right there in the corner that you can't get to no matter what. So let's pull that out. And that's going to release the dipstick tube from the cylinder head. Now we can maneuver that thing around a little bit. Stay. Because we need this much space to get this thing to come up and off. I think I should remove it from the transmission, but they're a real bear to put back, so I'm gonna try not to. We'll just leave it alone like so. So now, while we're down here, let's pull all of these perimeter bolts out at the valve cover. Then we'll go back up top and get the top side bolts as well. So the way I intend to do this is with a wobble 8 mil. That way we can get in those weird angles. Pull these guys out. And this valve cover gasket has been leaking as well. How about that? Not a lot of leak, but a little bit. Okay, there's another one way up here to the right. I don't think you guys can see. Oh, get in there. Here, now you can see. And another little guy hiding out right here in the corner. Missed. Alright, that's all the units down the bottom. Let's let the truck down and get the ones up at the top. So real quick before I let this down, one thing we should take a note of. See all that oil right there? All that oil leaking right there. Now, if I end up, loud Dave noises. If I end up doing the timing system on this, we're gonna pull the pan down and reseal this pan. It's a two bird with one stone situation, because in order to do the timing system properly, we like to install a high volume milling oil pump. And in order to install the pump, you got to pull the pan off of it. So since we have leaking gaskets anyway, those two operations will have overlap labor, which would be good. So that's something to think about moving forward once we get this cover off of here. Okay, back up at the top. Let's get some fasteners unfastened here. A bunch more 8mm little units there. And of course, there's probably one way out in the back that I can't reach with anything, I think. Not this one. That's the one I can reach. There's another one, I think. I believe it's right back here, and I don't feel it. Okay, maybe it's not there. Then in that case, that might be all of them, and it's not. There's got to be one more somewhere, I think. Here, let's find out. Go in there with a pry driver unit, pry up on this, break the seal. Yeah, that might have been all of them. I think so. Yep, she's loose. Loosey-goosey. All right, let's maneuver this thing up and out. We'll take a look down below. Here, you guys are on top of the alternator. I need both flanges here to pull this thing out. Just dropped a bunch of dust down inside on top of the cams. That's fun. No worries. We rinse them out. Wash them and rinse them. I should have removed that other AC line. It's kind of getting in the way, but got our cover coming out. Here we go. All right, let's move in for the close-up here on this thing. Since we've got the cover off, here's what we're looking at. So we've got our camshaft right here. These lobes, they run on the rockers, which then push down on the individual valves to open and close the valves. You've got intakes here on this side, and exhaust is down the bottom side. This is your camshaft phaser. This is what gives you variable valve timing actuation. What happens is the ECM will open and close this solenoid right here. This solenoid will send some oil pressure through that galley, through the cam, and into the phaser. When oil pressure is given to or taken away from that phaser, the inside of it will rotate in relation to the position of the outside of it and change the timing of said camshaft. And that feature exists on both sides of the engine. What happens here, and what I think is what we heard on that knock on startup, is this phaser is bleeding down, and that's the knocking noise, is the cam is not actually in phase or in sync or in time like it's supposed to be up until we get an oil pressure issue. Now that could be because on this side the timing chain tensioner down there has a blown out seal in it, or the phaser itself has failed. But the reason that we pulled the valve cover off first is we want to take a look at these individual lifters and camshaft lobes and make sure everybody's not scored up and also in need of replacement. And I don't think that we have too much of an issue going on here. A little bit of pitting on that one. You guys see that? That one didn't look super great. They all look okay. So I'm gonna say we don't need to buy cams for it. We may end up putting lifters and rockers in it, I think, once this thing's apart. But I think we need to proceed and continue the teardown. And again, we could get away with just putting a phaser in this, but for all the work, we're a third of the way there to get the rest of it all apart. I think we're gonna go ahead and recommend doing the timing chains, tensioners, and the guides as well. You can see the guide down in there. They're just plastic little units. See that? Now this one's been here for almost a couple 100,000, so I don't trust these guides as far as I can throw them, and since they're inside of an engine, I can't throw them at all. Words again. So I really don't think those should stay, since this is a high mileage motor. If this was like a 40,000 mile engine, sure, we could just throw some phasers on there, but since we do have 197,000 some change on it, I'm going to recommend doing the full timing job on this. And we had that conversation before, but we wanted to do some exploratory diagnostic first to make additional determinations. Okay, one more thing to check. I want to make sure that this camshaft has received adequate lubrication throughout its lifetime. So we're just going to peel off one of these cam caps right here and take a look under it. There are no camshaft bearings. There are just machined surfaces that are machined to the correct clearances, and these cams ride metal on metal with regards to their bearing races and caps. If we have an oiling issue, we're going to see a bunch of scoring under this cap right here, in which case we may not have a repairable engine. This is looking pretty good in there. There's no nasty scoring. A little bit of pitting on that cam there, but nothing crazy, so we're going to put that back. I'm going to leave those loose for now. That way I know that I took them off, and they're also not torqued to spec, so those are just going to stay, or that's going to stay right there for right now. So next step, what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and seriously start the teardown on this. Let's go ahead and peel off the intake manifold, and let's try to get this other side disassembled as well. So we're basically what we're going to do is top side comes apart, valve cover, then all this stuff up in the front is coming off, timing cover is coming off, and then after that at the end, oil pan is coming off. So we're about to be in store for a lengthy multi-part series here. Let's get after it. We have more work to do. About 17 hours worth, I believe. We need to get the power steering reservoir out of the way, so let's get this guy unbolted and disconnected. Missed another bolt. There's three fasteners. Two cookie. Okay, flip this thing over and just kind of stash that out of the way. I need to get under there to get to the bolt on this bracket, which is a fun one to reach because you can't, might have to do it from the bottom side. Yeah, it's like down and left and then up, and then it's down there. So let's run this thing back up in the air one more time. We'll get this bracket off and then continue peeling back the layers of said Ford onion. Forward moving on up, green subscribe button. That's the button for you to engage with on the YouTube platform to subscribe to the channel. That way you can receive notifications and you will not miss out on any future content, which would include the part 2 of this F-150 that is not being built yet. Like the part 2 is not being built yet. The truck's already built, but the video on the repair is not. Anyway, moving back up. All the way up, gotta walk underneath. Yeah, all right, so we're looking up. If you follow this extension, behind that hose way up there, we're finding the 17mm bolt that's the counterpart for the one on the passenger side that hangs onto the dipstick tube. I've got a 17mm socket and a wobble extension up there. Now, luckily for me, that bracket is slotted. So I just have to take this bolt loose and then I can slide that bracket up and away from it. And I know we can't see much of anything up there, but I assure you I'm getting the fastener loose. Which I believe it to be loose enough. Let's let her back down and pull that bracket out. Coming back out of here. Okay, lock release, furred, coming down. Almost all the way down. And not contact. Yeah, we're still hovering. No contact. Not with the ground. Not right now. There we go. We've got some wiggly action. Well, that's fun. Okay, that slides up. And then this side should slide off the pin. There's also a pin there. See the pin? Way down right there. So pin's clear, and then we slide the whole bracket business. It's supposed to come like right up towards me here. Did I not get it loose enough? That's not cool. Come on, you. Slide. Aha, there we go. Yeah, see, there's that stupid slot. Okay, so this big honkin' bracket business is disconnected. Good. Let's remove a few more disconnectable items here. Another PCV hose. That one used to go to the manifold. And of course, there's a boatload more connectors here to disconnect. Fuel injectors and wiring harnesses and map sensors. This side has the fuel line and the vacuum lines. So all of that must be disconnected and pulled out of the way. So I think what I'll do is we'll pull these coils and all the rest of this hubbub, get this valve cover off on this side, and then once this side's cover has been removed, we can we'll pull the intake manifold off. Then we'll work on the accessory drive. I think that should be the appropriate order of operations here. Okay, let's go in and attack some ignition coils.
They're all disconnected. And that fourth one, she's way back there, but I'll get her. I dropped one of those little bolts now. See where oh, there it is. It's shiny so I can see it. Yeah, that's the one I dropped. Ruh-roh. The anti-gravity is strong. Pop. Okay, 4 ignition coils. Those are out. Good.
Okay, so wiring harness has all been disconnected. I disconnected a couple more connectors when you guys weren't looking. So now what we need to do is get this fuel line off of here, disconnect that guy, and then we will start unbolting the intake manifold and get that thing removed. That's our retainer clip for the fuel line. As always, redundancy. Gotta have redundancy. Now earlier we had seen, me hitting you in the face with the flashlight, we had seen these connectors here disconnected from the back side view. This right here is the front side view, and you can see, if you look real close, there's a little spring inside of there. Do you guys see that little spring in there? Yeah, I'll get you a little closer. You guys see? Yeah, see that spring right there on the inside of that fitting? What we do is we take these fuel line disconnect tools, that's gonna slide over that fitting, and then the part that sticks out, that's gonna slide under the spring right there and then separate that spring. See how it kind of went? Yeah, I think you can see it right there. See how it went under it? Right there. So now we should be able to get a hold of that fuel line and wiggle it, and while we wiggle and rotate it, pull it away from the metal fitting like so. See that? Came right off. Beautiful. And then we just kind of pull it back, let the fuel spill down into that spark plug hole right in front of us. That's going to clean it out, and that guy's disconnected. So now let's just get the 10 mil bolts for the intake manifold, disconnect all those guys. And actually, no, you know what? We need to pull the alternator off first. The intake can't come out with the alternator there. I was ahead of myself. Okay, switching gears, backing up. Let's pull an alternator out next. So this should not be remarkably difficult. Let me get the fan clutch wire out of the way real quick. We'll just spin that around to this side. So the belt tensioner, that's off to my left right down here, coming in with a 1/2 inch ratchet. Now I can get some torque on that tensioner. Give that a tug. Oh, tight. Pull the belt off. There we go. Get my ratchet back. Ding, belt is almost off. We'll throw that to the side. Now we can get to the 8 mil bolts in the front of the nader, and then the 4 10 mils on top for the bracket right here. Okay, moving on down. Those are 10s, not 8s, by the way. I don't know what I was thinking when I said 8. Now these are slotted on the nader, so I don't have to remove them all the way, which I don't know if I have a choice because now my tool is stuck there. Let's get that guy loose. Unclick. There we go. And that guy comes with me right there on the table. And then our nader, which has previously been electronically disconnected, she just lifts right out. No problem. Easy peasy. Right there you go. So now we can see why I had to pull this out to get this intake manifold out, because that's just bleh. And you know, I think while we're here, I'm gonna pull this coolant bridge out as well, and we're gonna re-gasket that, because there's really no sense in fighting with trying to dig this manifold out from over this little crossover, and we're gonna put manifold gaskets in it, so I may as well get the ones that seal up this crossover bridge business too, and a thermostat. All right, so let's get after all the 10 mils. We're gonna just take everybody loose and then wiggle it all out.
Yeah.
We're gonna change this up. Shorter extension and a wobble action. That way I can reach into those hard to reach places back here.
And get the nuts off. Bolts. You slipping thing here. I think that was 4 on this side. There's one back here under that fuel injector, I believe, that I can't see or feel or find. I know it's back there. Yep, I feel it. What I'll do is I'll get the tool on the fastener first, and then put the drive tool on the driven tool to unfasten the said fastener. if I can find it. Bear with me, boys and girls and everyone else watching. I say boys because the audience is mostly the fellas, and I'm not here to exclude the ladies. We love the ladies.
Yeah, see, we can actually see a little better over here on this side. Anyways, there's that one nasty bolt hanging out in the back corner. Trying to get the tool onto it. I can barely see it right here on the left. I don't think you guys can. Right there. And I've also learned that I missed this bolt here on the other side. There was one in the center, but I'll go back for it.
There we go. Excellent sauce.
Let's pull these guys out so they don't get lost. They'll also hinder the manifold removal procedure. Okay, so I got that one. Let me fetch that one way off on the other side that I missed. It's the one in the center. I'm not even gonna move you guys. You can just watch from there, I think. Yeah. Oh, I can't see it though. Come on. There she is. That's the fastener, bolt, whatever. And intake is still not released. Okay. What is intake manifold problem? Why are we stuck? Oh. Yeah, it's on there. Maybe it's just stuck from not having ever been removed. Yeah. A little bit of leverage goes a long way. All right, that's loose. So now we're gonna pull this bridge off, this coolant bridge, 8 mil and an 8 mil, and another one back in that corner, and then this thing should come off, and then we can pull the manifold out. The ocho. I don't know if I need to disconnect that thermostat all the way. I'm gonna try not to for the time being, which that's not gonna work. I can't get a good line on, oh yeah, I got it, never mind. What I'm saying is I don't know if the bolts for the thermostat housing go all the way through or not. They may just bolt it to the crossover bridge business. There's that one. Many Ford engines have suffered premature death because of this thing right here. Yeah, see that? Dumping coolant down in the oil. This thing right here used to be made out of Plastec, and they were nasty leakers, and they leaked everywhere and caused overheating problems and blown up engines. That one's been updated with the metallic one, but just saying, if you have a plastic one, keep an eye out. They like to leak on you. Anyways, let's encourage this thing to come forward some, and we'll pull this thing out of here. Let's get this thing worked up and out. There we go. I'm sure there's something in the back attached to it. Oh, that's nasty in there. Yeah, there's something back there attached. Wire, some kind of wire connector, something like that. I don't see it. Oh, it's the IMRC, the intake manifold runner control connector. There's an actuator back there that connects some linkage that connects to some flaps inside of the manifold itself, and I need to get that guy disconnected. Bear with me here, folks, bear with me. Let's see if you can see what I'm trying to talk about. I don't know if I can show you. That guy. That connector. Right there. Yeah, that's tight. Oh, come on. Okay. I'd really like for you guys to see what I'm talking about. It's because you need to know how hard that is. It's right back here. Yeah, that's the connector for the manifold runner control. Okay. I think that's all that's holding me up. Maybe the vacuum line for the brake booster, but that also could have fallen off during my wiggling event. And I don't see where it's attached anymore. It must have fallen off. It's this hose right here. Yeah. Okay, so got 2 knock sensor connectors. There's one of them right there. If I can't reach it. Okay, got one of them. And the other one that's attached to the other side. Yeah, those are always fun to remove. Knock sensors, and if you mess it up or break the sensor, you'll get an immediate check engine light on startup. You gotta take it all apart again to put knock sensors in it. Not knocks, N-O-X. Knock, like knock, knock, knocking on the door. Knocking on the door of Ford Repairland. Uh-oh, still stuck. Oh, another sensor of some sort. Oh, why? That's a coolant temp sensor in the cylinder head. Bear with me. And all those wires, you're gonna love this. This is stupid. All those wires we just disconnected go behind this. So they go in here and in here. That's the intake manifold runner actuator, this guy right here. And then it runs both of those linkages to either side. Let's pull this guy out. Heavy unit. Let's give it a flip. There's the runner flaps right there. See them inside of there, all that business. Very carbony also. Intake gaskets are junk. That needs a good cleaning. Okay, we'll set this down out of the way for now. You stay right here. Woohoo! So with the intake manifold removed, it's gonna be easier to get this valve cover disconnected. So let's hit all these bolts and pull this valve cover out.
It's too long, need to make it shorter.
Okay, that's the top side ones. Let's go around through the fender well again on the driver's side. Well, not again, we haven't been in there. Let's go around to the fender well, I guess, and get those bottom ones disconnected. Actually, might be able to do these from up here. I see them. Oh yeah, there's no battery tray thing in the way. Yeah, so basically both sides are equally difficult, just in a different way. One's easier on the difficult scale. There we go. Dipstick tube. I'm gonna have to pull the dipstick tube out. Yeah, that little guy right there, that's not going to help me. Let's get into our fender here. One more bolt back here. See that one? Ding! Okay, now how about that dipstick tube? I think that's an 8mm. Nope, not fitting in there with that. That's what she said. So looks like we're doing that manually. Got a ratchet and the 8, the 8. Pull that 8 out of there, and once that's out, we can try to wiggle this dipstick tube out. I hope it comes out without great difficulty. They're sealed into the block at the bottom with just an O-ring. What happens is dirt will get down into that O-ring between the block and the ring, or on top of the ring rather. It doesn't get past the ring, it just gets on it. And then it wedges the component in the hole because the O-ring has to pull past all the dirt, but the very design of said O-ring prevents it. So you'll often get a case like this where it'll move around, but you can't get it to quite come out of the hole. Regardless, I think that I can just kind of leave that there since I got that extra like inch, and maybe we can just pop this cover off while leaving the dipstick tube in place. Let's try that. I need my prying device, trim tool, trim removal tool, serves as pry bar. Ding! Did I get all the bolts? Nope, missed one. There it is, see that? Let's try that again. Yeah, that was hiding behind that harness. And that's how you break stuff off. You think it's supposed to come off, and then you keep applying increased levels of force until your component yields. But then it's become broken and destroyed, so you're in trouble. Do I have all the bolts? All those? All these? Am I missing one or something? No. It's just really being reluctant. There we go. I heard the crack of the sealant. I wonder if there's one out in the back. Feels like it. Oh, I think what's happening is the silicone is still glued to the head, but it's also sticking the gasket to the cover. So it's like kind of glued on, but not. No. Oh, their wiring harness is stuck to it too. Come on. That's not what I anticipated. None of this is what I anticipated. Yeah, there, right there. The harness is connected to it. We'll make you unconnected. And nothing will get you more stuck than a piece of wire that's correctly connected to your component. And naturally the urge is to pull harder. But if you do that, you break stuff. There, gasket. All right, that's out. So we've achieved topside disassembly. Got a bunch of dirt in there. Let's blow that out too. Don't worry guys, it's all gonna get cleaned. Relax. There. 2 words, vacuum. Yeah, I know, you could vacuum the dust, not from where it's gonna be a problem. I mean, you get it out of here, but not here. There we go. Okay, next part. This is the part everyone loves to dislike when I do it, but I'm doing it my way. So I've got an air chisel here. It's a linear impact hammer and a salt air hammer, so to speak. We're gonna get this on the nut right here for the fan clutch and break this fan clutch loose from the pulley, which is on the water pump right here. All this has to come off. Then the fan shroud can come out. Once that's out, we'll start pulling accessories off. A little bit of loud noises and an air leak. Let's just tap this thing off of here. Bear with me, getting my bearings straight. Probably should have done this with the belt on. Hindsight. Too much gas. All right, it is loose. Yeah, check that out. We turn the pulley and leave the fan in position. We'll get this thing loose and then I'll unbolt the shroud and pick them both up and out. I could have done this first, but I didn't. Okay, back to the 8mm fastener remover devices again. This is the wobble one. Should be 2 8s on these tabs at the top of the shroud, and then no 8s at the bottom of the shroud, because there's just slots. Lots of slots. There's that one. Oh, come on. My wobble bit is way too extra wobbly. Too much wobble action. Okay. That can go there. So we need to pull this top section off and then pick the whole assembly up and out. Drop something. Okay, top plastic shroud thing, that goes there. And then, I think this is free and clear and loose, except for there's a wiring harness attached to it. Let me get this little guy here. I think I need the bigger one. Come on, I'm gonna break it. Longer. There. Anything attached to that side, sir?
It doesn't look
Nope, nope, okay. Okay, the shroud's out. I'm holding the fan, so I can't hit the radiator. Moving the harness. Oh, it's an AC line. I am so stuck. Look at this, man. I got one hand stuck on the fan. The other hand's trying to pull this hose back. There. Got it. Okay, so fan in the shroud. Okay, so we've found more engine. Now I can finish pulling this belt out of here. We'll take the tensioner off later as well. I'll check it, make sure it's good. If it's not good, we'll change it while we're here. So what we need to do next, I think, I'm not sure where I feel like stopping. Hey guys, what time is it? It's about 4 o'clock. Let's start pulling off accessories. We have time for that. All right, so first what I want to do is get this water pump pulley off. It's either going to be easy or not. Easy. Ding, there's our pulley. This comes with me. Okay, so set that down. Come back in with another socket. We're gonna start to pull these pulleys off. Get rid of that guy. One over here, far off to the left. That guy. So that's 2. Let's go ahead and pull the tensioner off as well. 3 bolts on the tensioner. Okay, that guy's good. There is one more pulley off to the right. Let me throw these fasteners in that tensioner so they don't get lost. Set that down. It's over hanging out on the water pump pulley. Back to that 13 again, because there's one more other pulley down here. There we go. So now we can get to the oil filter. Check that out. Well, let's see what's left. The water pump? Sure, let's get that guy next. We'll see why not. I do plan on putting a new one in, because we're here. You know, upsells and whatnot. Because all us mechanics are the same. There we go. That's all for the pump bolts. And it's not coming out. Of course not. That's not a good enough hammer. Gonna need more hammer. All right, let's try this one. Got the east wing. It's coming out. It's moving. Booyah. One pumpa de agua removed. That's our water pumping unit. Kind of nasty looking in there. Yeah, those O-rings were junk. Look at that. That's the seal right there. Good thing it wasn't leaking. Alrighty, folks. I do believe this is a good stopping point for now and for the day. We're going to have to obviously pick up on this on part 2. I think first things first, after we drain the oil, we need to pull the filter housing, get the power steering pump off of there, because I believe there's timing cover bolts behind it, and the pump may be bolted to the cover itself. Crank pulley has to go away. And then once that is achieved, we can unbolt the timing cover and the oil pan for that matter, separate those guys, and then we're going to get a real good look at what's going on with the timing system down under the cover. But again, we're going to have to save that one for part 2. This video is running a little bit long. This is going to be part 1 of the disassembly phase. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell if you would like to see the notification for when the part 2 becomes available. And again, I will see you guys down in the comment section below. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. And most importantly, before I go, I need to not forget to remind each and every one of you guys to have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later. End of 5.4 liter Ford Triton timing system rebuild in a day, in a video, in a transmission.